Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to ramble incoherently about complete and utter nonsense.
Which is what we do.
Which is what we do, because we're horribly off topic.
I want to chuck this unopened beer bottle at you.
Horribly off topic.
Hi, this is Horribly Off Topic. I'm Steve, and
I am, not a Foley artist. I was
with me as always is Chris.
With me as always is also Steve.
Yes.
Also Steve. That's our first T-shirt. I'm also Steve. I mean, it's been over a year. It's been a year and a half, right? At least. It's time we had a
Almost
T-shirt.
2 years. Almost 2 years.
It's time we had a T-shirt. I'm also Steve. That's what I just said.
Well, if it sells as good as...
Oh, shit. Are we going there right out of the gate?
Why not?
We're going there right out of the gate. Okay.
So we got an email from Dan.
I gotta hold on. I gotta prepare for this.
Okay, good. FYI this is from Dan. FYI for your show notes, The Ape's Choice is no longer available for digital purchase on any online store. If you feel inclined, you can berate your listeners for not buying the album. My 1-year distribution is about to end. I did not renew it because the renewal fee is twice as much money as I've made in a year of sales. A grand total of 4 copies of The Ape's Choice have been sold between all the online stores offering it for purchase. Also, I take exception to Steve's recent comment during your Kesha discussion, claiming that TNS had released 3 shitty albums, and he says that he stands by The Ape's Choice and maintains that it's a fantastic album, not by the standards previously set by the New Sweethearts, but as music in general. So,
would you care to comment?
You know what? He's right. Like, The Ape's Choice is actually really great.
It is really
and
great.
I may or may not have been sort of intoxicated during that episode.
You may. What are the odds of that?
I don't know. 1 and 2 probably.
1 and 2.
I think usually I take a break
every other episode.
Every other episode I have some beers in there. Like last week I did, but no one heard any of it.
Right? Yeah. No. There were plenty of beers to be had. They are all in the outtakes.
So thank you, Dan. I stand corrected. The Ape's Choice is a great album. Maybe if we ever start playing live or something, we can sell like not digital copies of it. We can sell them a disc we can hand create.
I sent Dan
out of horsehair
a message afterwards where I was kind of commiserating because I mean I've lost $12 or $13 out of the $70-something a month I was getting out of Patreon. One of those, I think, may very well have been somebody who didn't realize they were pitching into something monthly, and he had been pitching in $10 a month for a year.
Wow!
And I wrote to him. I wanted to get a sense of it, but I haven't heard back.
Who, Dan?
No, somebody else.
This other guy.
And then I've lost.
Ladies have money too nowadays. This is 2016.
This is 2016. They but at any rate, I've lost a few of them, and it really is really hard to get people to throw down dough. Not our listeners, and I don't say that facetiously either. We've actually not gotten a ton, but we've got some donations. We've gotten some donations,
which have helped us with doubling the amount of mics that we had.
This is true. Yeah. So I mean, it's a hard slog. I imagine that they're charging way too much, and that's part of why Dan had to do it, because with the music side. It's my understanding if you want to get distributed on any of these things music-wise, you have to sign some sort of agreement with some distributor. There was one called TuneCore for a while. That
just sounds like a pornographic like cartoon site.
TuneCore.
Yeah. It really, that does not sound like TUNE.
That's what it actually is,
but not. I'm thinking TOON core.
You think,
or is it like Roger Rabbit, like gangster?
Well, that's
rapping?
what I was gonna say. Well, it could be that too. No, I was gonna say, you think there are any videos on TuneCore.com
with Jessica
Roger Rabbit giving it to Jessica Rabbit?
I don't know if it's Roger Rabbit necessarily.
Probably somebody else. Yeah, like Baby Herman, or is that illegal?
I don't know.
That might be bad.
He's an actor portraying a baby. I don't know if he's actually a baby himself.
Yeah.
But he is in the shape of a baby.
He's in the shape of a baby, but he smokes cigars.
Yeah, so if he can buy cigars, he should be able to...
No, we don't know if he buys cigars. We know he smokes them. It may be that somebody else buys them for him.
Well, you know, if he could actually buy the cigars, he could probably boink some broad.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Dan probably...
To speak in the parlance of our times.
Dan probably had to pay a shit ton of money to get those things on there. Whereas with books, and I think apps as well, I don't develop apps, you don't have to pay anything up front. You're just paying a portion of whatever your proceeds are. So I've always thought that was kind of unfair to musicians, but it was, you could get music onto the store, onto these various stores before you could get any of the other stuff. And I think it's just a relic of those times that in order to get anything on there, you have to pay a fee.
Because, we're just the little guys here making podcasts, producing albums, in our second room.
In your second room.
Not my second room. That's, like computer room. I don't know what the hell you want to call it.
Your den, your man cave, your office.
It wasn't mine. It was Dan's.
Dan's man cave.
He doesn't have a man cave.
His Dan cave. Gross. Do you think Dan caves get explored on TuneCore.com? Is there
is there a cartoon character named Dan?
I'm sure.
Besides the guy from Street Fighter?
What do you have against that guy? You wouldn't want to see that guy's Dan cave?
I wouldn't want to see anybody's Dan cave. If that means their asshole. Like
okay.
A gape.
A gape, yeah. Oh, God.
So, no. We're off to a great start.
A rollicking start. Yeah, no. So anyway, yeah. You guys suck for not buying more copies of The Ape's Choice. And now you can't.
You can't.
They can't anymore.
Maybe, if by some way, shape, or form, our show takes off beyond what we have for listeners now.
Right.
Like skyrockets into like the top 10 of podcasts.
In flight.
Like we're like head to head with Bill Burr or something like that, which would never happen.
That might be on TuneCore.
What?
Going head to head with Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is not a cartoon. He's a real person.
Well, we're all kind of cartoons. We're all kind of cartoony in our podcast personas.
Yeah, but...
All right. Well, maybe it would go on like Redbox or RedTube or
Redbox. Redbox is the thing outside the grocery store.
But also, Redbox could be
like someone who's having their period,
or it could be specifically for ginger. Specifically for ginger performances. Like a Redbox.
And Bill Burr is a ginger, so
yeah. So he could be on the Redbox going head to head with us. Although neither of us are gingers.
No, we're definitely both brunettes.
I guess.
Can you call a man a brunette? Or is that only for the ladies?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not aware.
Because you can call a man blonde, right? Because he's
right. But I think there is a difference between whether you put the E on the end, maybe. Like there's blonde, or maybe that's blonde as the color is no E at the end, but a blonde has an E on the end.
So, but you wouldn't call a man a blonde.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm just trying to get into your general.
You're trying to get into
your
my
general sexism.
Dan
No.
You're trying to get into my sex.
You're just to get into your sexism and
my sexism.
How rampant it is.
My sexism is intersexual, intersectional. That's a bad joke.
What?
That was a bad joke and offensive. No, I've seen some. Yeah. Anyway, intersexual. Yeah. So.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We were talking about...
Oh, yeah, being a brunette. TuneCore. So maybe you would call it a brune for a man.
A brune.
Not a brunette.
Not a bruin.
Brune. A brune.
De Bruins.
A brune.
De Bruins?
No, we're not talking about doubloons.
No, I said De Bruins.
Look.
Like De Bruins. but like De Bruyne's.
Are the Bruins doing well this year?
I don't know. I heard the Celtics were doing well.
They are?
I heard.
Okay, cool.
Somebody said that they have really terrible uniforms now. I saw a clip of it this morning.
Is it no longer a little Irish guy on there?
No, it's not. That's a good question. I feel like they might just be doing the shamrock on most of the uniforms. But
speaking of which, it's around St. Patty's Day next week.
Well, a couple days after this comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Crap. We're still in. Psst, we're recording in last week.
Psst, it's Saturday. Why did that sound so something?
Donkey dishwasher. And it makes a comeback.
It does. Yeah. So anyway, everybody sucks for not buying buying the album. That's I think where we can.
You guys are a bunch of Bruins.
Bunch of doubloons.
Or a bunch of blondes.
But the Celtics uniforms, man, they're gray. They're like kind of like this, not even like nice.
Are they like an away jersey, maybe?
It's like an alternate. I mean, I think they still have the white ones, and they still have the green ones. But
what happened to the goddamn Mick with the little pipe?
He's still the mascot. He's still part of the logo. But what I'm saying is, their uniforms look like.
Do you have to be Irish to be on the Celtics?
That's a good question. You have to convert to Irishism.
That's not a thing.
Anyway, they have shitty uniforms.
Because like there's definitely black guys that have Irish names, like Patrice O'Neal, God rest his soul.
Yes,
he had an Irish name, and
he was given an Irish, or his ancestors were probably given an Irish name by a fucking.
But that's de facto Irish, I think.
De facto.
So that's probably why he had a lot of hard times in Boston. He probably sent in
had nothing to do with being a black man in Boston.
No,
it was because he was Irish.
No, I think it was double bad, or maybe because he would send out a resume because apparently he did Joe jobs before he started doing comedy, and I'm just like creating a story of Patrice O'Neal that didn't actually exist. But he was sending out resumes, and people thought he was like an Irish lady. And then he shows up as this large black man, and then they were probably
like that's not what it said on the that's not what it said on the tin. Yeah, we were expecting something else.
God rest his soul.
God rest Patrice O'Neal.
I really like him dying. Really, just sucked.
Yeah,
it sucked for comedy in general because he was about to actually make it.
Yeah,
because he did the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do, which as a comedian, as far as like promoting yourself, like well, not necessarily promoting yourself, or just like keeping on getting work,
right? Because
like you have to do a certain amount of ass kissing,
yeah.
Like as in the industry. Like whether it be executives or other comics or whatever, right. But he never, ever did that. But he was fucking hilarious. So he was able to succeed regardless of the fact that he hated the system that he was participating in.
Yeah.
So he was about to like he finally got over the hump.
Right.
Like a hump that he could have easily gotten over
if he'd been willing to.
If he had been willing to like just kiss a little ass. And that's why I think he's even better of a person because like he did it on his own fucking terms.
Yeah.
And then he fucking died. That's I think the thing that upset me the most because he was so fucking great.
Yeah.
And then just all right, sorry.
That's all right. No, it's.
I get passionate about somebody like when someone's like legitimately funny.
Yeah.
And I want them to succeed. I don't want like people to fade away, and I want them to have Carlin status. I want them to have like Richard Pryor status.
What I wonder is how many people can actually do that anymore in any of these fields, because for the same reason of what we started off talking about, like part of the reason that it's so hard to sell an album, sell a book, sell an app, sell whatever, is that there's so much out there. There's so many people which is great. The democratization of this stuff is great, but can anybody ever reach Carlin status? Can from an author's perspective, is there ever going to be another Stephen King?
That'll have somebody that'll have that much mass appeal.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, well, you could look at J.K. Rowling or Rowling or whatever the fuck she refers to herself as.
Right.
I refer to her as that bitch who wrote Harry Potter. Really?
You got something against J.K. Rowling?
No, I have nothing against it. I just wanted to say it to get a rile out of people. Why do you think she's a bitch, Steve? Maybe get an email or something.
Maybe.
We got
Hot at clarkwoods.com. If you're angry right now,
we lit the fire
typing.
under Dan. He sent us an email.
Yeah.
Let's piss more people off so we get some
people
people
off. Yes. Get drunk. I mean, that seems to be the key.
Yeah.
Get drunk and say something.
I'm not drunk. This is my second beer.
I'm saying you need to get drunk, say something that'll offend someone, and that will be what.
Either that or we'll get fired from our jobs and then be living in squalor because we said something that someone didn't like. And you all know my opinions on that.
Oh, soapbox. So, do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I will be.
Yeah.
Because coming up this week, we'll be in the city of Chicago.
Green River.
So, do you remember what movie they referenced that in?
The Fugitive.
Yes, it was The Fugitive.
Yes.
And then they dye the river green for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
But then I don't know who it was, or was it a secondary character that said, oh, they dye it green for St. Patty's Day. Why can't they dye it blue for the rest of the year?
Yes, I forget who said that, but yeah, I remember that line.
Yeah. Probably the funniest line in that movie, next to "I didn't kill my wife."
I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care.
I struggled with this man.
I can't remember
one arm. What the fuck? I was just watching Scream 3. Now,
I'm sorry.
We were just watching the end of it. It wasn't. Yeah. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just.
Who's the celebrity that dies at the beginning of that one?
I think it was Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, okay, all right. The beginning,
which everybody was probably really excited about.
Well, we're more excited now. If she were to sort of die and
I don't
get stabbed for.
I'm trying not to wish death on people, as much as I despise certain people.
No,
maybe in the political arena that I'll try to refrain from talking about this week, just so we keep it a Trump-free.
Yes.
Week.
Trump-free zone.
Trump-free zone. But yeah, I try not to, there's times where in my brain I'm wishing something like that would happen, but I try not to.
Not to say it out loud.
I mean, I probably have on the show before, and we've done 85 episodes.
85 episodes.
There's a good chance that I wish death on somebody. But I try not to.
The look you give me sometimes, I think you're wishing death upon me. No. So
you're very important to me in my life. So don't ever think that I'm wishing death on you. I'm just shooting you a dirty look.
Okay. So Jenny McCarthy. So the Scream 1 starts with Drew Barrymore. That was what they started. Was Drew Barrymore's at the beginning of the movie. She dies in the first 10 minutes, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the second one was Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't know if they were married at that point.
I don't know if they were. What year was that? In the 90s?
That's mid 90s. I feel like that. Oh no, it's 98. I think maybe. I don't know. Scream 3 is that the one that has Patrick? What's his name? Patrick Dempsey.
It has Patrick Warburton in it.
Oh.
Is Patrick Dempsey the guy that was on that show?
He was on the Grey's Anatomy.
Yes,
yes. He was in Can't Buy Me Love back in the 80s, the movie, which was one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to buy love, and you found that this movie helped you figure out that you can't buy it.
No. I mean, I think it was a relatively racy PG-13, and it was a dork who got together with the quote unquote hot girl. And
do you remember the movie Just One of the Guys?
No.
It was about this lady that wanted to do something, I guess, get into some sort of college or class or something or other. But she couldn't as a lady, so she dressed up like a guy.
Okay.
And then, or maybe it was a high school thing or being a club. I forget what the hell.
Amanda Bynes.
No, this was in the 80s.
Okay.
But this was the first movie I remember seeing tits in.
Oh.
Because I think
very
it was
important memory for a boy.
It wasn't an R-rated movie.
Okay.
And so at the end, like when it's revealed that she's a he. I mean, wait, he's a she.
Right.
She kind of rips open her shirt and then, well, bam! There's some titties.
There's some breasts.
And
Yeah.
that's where I first found my fondness for them was when I saw.
When you saw them in no, not She's the Man. That's the Amanda.
Just
Bynes
one
one,
of the
maybe.
guys.
Just one of the guys. Just one of the guys. That same thing.
I don't think Amanda Bynes showed her tits.
No, probably not.
Well, she might have, like, to somebody, but not to anybody in the
point.
public.
Yeah. Maybe on.
Oh, that's a segue there.
Maybe on.
That's us riding on a
Instagram
two-wheeled
or a
vehicle
sweater.
with a stupid helmet as we're going through Boston Common.
But we didn't even hear about you watching Scream.
Oh, yeah. Why the fuck did I bring it up?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, because the fucking guy is just like, he tossed down the stairs
Yeah.
and, like, going through fucking glass windows.
Ghostface Killer.
Like, just...
That's
Just
where he
like-
got his name, isn't it?
From Scream?
Wouldn't that be what it was? What it was from?
I don't
Ghostface Killer.
I think it was like probably a kung fu movie
All right.
because
you
that's
tell me the story. I'm gonna look it up.
that's where like a lot of like the influence of the Wu-Tang Clan came from
That's
was
true.
from like a bunch of kung fu movies. So that's what I think.
Okay. Well,
What am I saying? Oh yeah, fucking like just like there's so much like things happening to the person who's the killer like prior to the end of the film, and apparently they're taking like the energy steroids from Fishman Island because they're not getting hurt by anything, and it's just like what the fuck.
what the fuck?
There was the One Piece reference was just now while you were looking things up.
Well, I'm looking things up. Yeah. No, I don't see. I don't see any.
What are you looking for? I
I'm
forget what
looking
you're
for
looking
Ghostface Killer.
of why he's named.
Why he's Ghostface Killer. He apparently was also at some point Iron Man, Tony Starks, or just Starks.
Really?
Yeah, that was his. It was another name. Ghost.
Was another name.
It was another name of his.
Maybe he liked Iron Man.
Maybe. Yeah. So.
Naked.
How were we about to transition before?
We're about to transition.
I know, I mean-
because we were talking about Amanda Bynes being naked in a public
in
view.
a public place, like Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Kim Kardashian seems to appears to enjoy. Wait, were we going there, or are we going to the other thing?
No, it was the you had the
Okay.
you picked up what I was saying.
Yeah, I picked up what you were putting down.
Yeah, you did well there.
All right. Well, so Kim Kardashian.
Don't screw it up.
Don't screw it up, Chris. Kim Kardashian tweeted a nude selfie the other day.
But did she put like boxes over her?
She did. She put boxes over her box and over her boobs.
Oh, her bubs.
Her bubs. And of all people in the world to respond to Kim Kardashian's her bubs in her box being on display underneath the boxes, Bette Midler. Are you familiar with her work?
Yes, beaches.
Beaches. She's the you.
She was on like the Krusty Comeback special.
There's a wind beneath her wings. I don't know if you know this. So Bette Midler.
What?
Bette Midler tweeted back. In this case, she did not specifically.
Like of the two things I reference are like a pretty like like I don't want to say a great movie, but an important movie in time. Mm-hmm. Like at the time.
Yes.
And also a thing from The Simpsons.
Bette Midler, after Kim Kardashian tweeted the nude selfie, she did not reply Kim Kardashian. What she said, and I quote, Kim Kardashian, what the fuck was that accent?
I don't know.
Kim Kardashian.
Let's get ready to listen to Chris try to stumble through this this fucking tweet.
This tweet. Kim Kardashian tweeted a nude selfie today. If Kim wants us to see a part of her we've never seen, she's going to have to swallow the camera. Oh, sick burn, Bette Midler. And then I
Keep on going.
I guess Kim Kardashian responded to it. See, this is the part I don't have.
Mean tweets from Bette.
I don't have because she fucking Bette Midler broke the broke the thing by putting the dot in front of Kim Kardashian's name so we could all see the response. But when you put the dot in front of someone's name when doing the reply, instead of just putting the name somewhere else in the sentence, you can't see what tweet she was responding to. So Kim Kardashian at some point tweeted something.
Some point tweeted something.
At some point tweeted something. She tweets a lot
Probably
more.
like, fuck you, Bet.
Then Bet.
Are you actually looking for it? Don't even
yeah,
bother.
no, I can't find it.
Yeah.
So Bette Midler's response to whatever it was that Kim Kardashian said was, "I never tried to fake friend you. Looks like anyone can take a selfie, but not everyone can take a joke."
Oh.
And then apparently Kim Kardashian kept on going. And a day or so later, Bette Midler responded again, saying, "Kim Kardashian wants me to send her my nudes. I'll send them right over, but the lighting's bad right now since she threw all that shade."
Oh.
And then I think the last one, a couple days ago, Bette Midler held up a piece of cardboard in front of herself, but in front of a mirror, so you can actually see her butt and the back of her bra. And Bette Midler said, like, "Kim, put your selfie to work for a good cause. Join me." And so was trying to get Kim to do a selfie for a good cause,
Which was.
I don't know. They were doing it through crowdrise.com.
Is that like when you try to get a crowd, give crowds erections?
I think that's what Kim Kardashian is trying to do. She's trying to get a rise out of the crowd, out of several members of the crowd.
By pouring champagne on her backside.
On her backside, yeah. I don't know that Bette Midler is.
That broke the internet, Chris.
Talk about a fucking dumb expression.
I brought 2 beers with me, so you don't have to.
I don't have to at all. You don't have to stall. Yeah, it's so like fucking internet, man. Fucking internet. Somebody.
All right, old man. What are your feelings on the internet?
Somebody tweeted this the other day. Well, let me see if I can find the one that's close to this. This is not the one that I was thinking of.
Drinking beer out of a bottle today. I'm sorry, I'm being classy.
The Merlin Man, my favorite. I think people should drink when I reference Merlin. Wrote, "Sometimes it feels like the web is mostly an ad hoc committee for deciding whose experiences are real." And I think it might have been Merlin, it might have been somebody else who tweeted that they were kind of sick of all of the things that we're supposed to hate on the internet.
What do you mean?
Well, so I asked you before the show this time, rather than in the middle of the show, like not quite the middle of the show because the last show was fucked up. I asked you if you'd seen the Captain America Civil War trailer,
which I watched right before the show, which was smart. So we didn't have to pause halfway through the show
and possibly
lose the show.
So when it came out, it was Thursday. I had to go in for a morning meeting, and I was on my way back, and I got the notification that it was out. And I was good boy. I did not pull over to the side of the road. I did not try to watch a trailer while driving. I waited till I got home. There had been some suspicion that Spider-Man would be making his debut in the trailer, and so I was anxiously looking forward to it. I get home, I sit down in front. I haven't looked at the internet yet. I sit down, I watch the trailer, and it gets to the very end, and Tony Stark. This is spoilers. Sorry, Tony Stark says. I'm paraphrasing.
Something about underoos?
Yeah, well, he says, I'm sick of, I'm running out of patience, and then he shouts, underoos, and Spider-Man appears Spider-Man webs Captain America's shield, webs up Captain America's hands, and then appears, and he says, "Hey, everybody," sounding like a 15-year-old, looking like Spider-Man from the comics, and I just watched it like 3 or 4 times because my experience watching it was one of absolute delight. And then I started scrolling up my Twitter stream and seeing most of the people that I follow also delighted by it, and then started seeing that apparently the internet had decided that it was a shitty costume, and I just was like, I had that feeling of like, well, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't look like any of the other ones, but I'm not. and yet me even feeling angry about that being someone else's reaction is kind of an asshole move, because I'm trying to sit here and say, like, whose reaction is valid? Well, my reaction, I think, is just as valid as somebody who hates it. And
see, I didn't walk away to get a beer, Chris. I just opened it. I was sitting here with you,
and I went off on a rant anyway. Yeah. So, but it really is. I feel like we have reached this stage of the internet. We've maybe been there a while, where there is some ad hoc committee out there that's deciding, okay, we all hate this, and if you don't hate it, you're
here's the thing. Like, I have eyeballs, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And like I have pupils in those eyeballs.
Looks
correct?
Looks like it.
So those can either like open or close depending on how much light is in the room.
Okay.
That's usually what.
Not so much when Kim Kardashian's throwing shade.
Yeah, obviously.
Right.
So they open and close to either grab in more light or to if it's really bright to make it so not as much light goes in to your eyeball. Now, if I was wearing a costume. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that I would have like dilating pupil eyeballs on my costume.
Okay.
That is my issue.
That is your issue with that final shot.
Yes.
Okay.
Why would that fucking happen?
For the same reason that any robots or any sort of... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to come up with a reason for it. I have read comics for ages and ages, and that is one of the ways in which the comics have traditionally shown expression on the face of somebody who spends his entire time behind a mask that doesn't have a mouth, that doesn't have any eye holes. You can't see any way that he's expressing himself. So comic artists for ages and ages have used the narrowing of the white parts of Spider-Man's eyes to try and indicate emotion. Now, there is, if you listen to it with headphones or at a certain volume, there is a sound effect that's apparently going along with that. So something's got to be happening there in the same way that Tony Stark's Iron Man suit seems to do things with the eyes when he's focusing on something. So, and the rumor is that Tony Stark had something to do with the design of that suit in the continuity. So that's where I'm kind of.
So, well, here like I'm all right with maybe that one shot, but if it happens a lot, I'd be like, eh.
Yeah. Well, it apparently happened in Deadpool a bunch. I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it in Deadpool either.
Yeah, but that's the other thing people have been talking about on the internet is that they just did it because it was done a bunch in Deadpool, and that's not necessarily true. If you go back far enough, you will see countless artists have done it for a very, very long time.
But the thing is, if it's happening in a frame of a comic book, that's something that is probably less noticeable. If something is happening in action, either like animated, or if something is happening in real life. In real life, I put air quotes in front of "in real life" there in case you guys weren't in the room with us, which you're not.
The other criticisms that came out about it were that it looked very very CG, which I don't necessarily have a retort to. They did put out a.
I could go for a retort right now.
They put out a high res version of it that looks a little bit better. But I think where it really comes down to is it's like I don't know how many frames of actually seeing this character. I was thrilled the hell out of it. If I'm going to decide to be negative about it, I'm going to reserve judgment until I've seen more of it.
When does the movie come out? Just so everybody that listens to the show can go out and see it. And
5th or 6th, something like that.
Oh, 5th of May.
5th of May, something like that. Is there something happening?
The 5th of May is Cinco de Mayo, correct?
Yes.
So one of my new favorite gags is if someone mentions Cinco de Mayo, I will ask, when's that?
God.
And I was at a work event, and I'm going to try to keep this very vague, just so I don't give away who I was trying to embarrass.
Yeah.
But they were really high up.
Okay.
And so we're having conversations, and this person brings up the 5th of May. And I'm like, when is that? And she, to her credit, knew what I was doing and called me on it. I was like, crap.
That's good.
But I guess I'm Patrice O'Neal because I give no shits.
Well, you admire him. So you celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Do you celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
I'm not necessarily of Mexican descent.
I never would have guessed that.
From my pale skin and
I don't think. Do you have to be? I mean, so I guess that why we go back to. Do you have
my very Anglo-Saxon name?
No. Okay. So you have some Irish in you, yeah.
Yes.
So do you get offended when people who have no Irish in them celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
No.
Okay. So does that mean? Do you find it offensive when people who are not of Mexican descent celebrate Cinco de Mayo?
No, because it's the Independence Day, Mexican Independence Day. Is that what it is? Right?
I don't know.
All right. Well, let's just assume that's right, and people can send us emails and say we're fucking morons if we're wrong.
Yeah. Or they can just fucking morons.
Or they could just call us fucking morons for no reason. I don't give a shit. Call us morons.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's a great thing to celebrate. Like, regardless of your ethnicity, if you want to celebrate the independence of Mexico from, Concheesetadors or whatever.
Concheesetadors. Title. Concheesetadors. Yes, I think it's our 15 years ago. My wedding anniversary is coming
You
up.
Celebrated your independence from
15 years ago. I celebrated my independence.
15 years ago was when Independence Day came out, wasn't it?
No, Independence Day came out 25 years ago. I think.
No way. Fuck
years
you.
ago?
Not 25 years ago.
1996. 20 years ago.
Okay. Well, fuck you.
I think.
It wasn't
like
25.
Not like 20 years ago.
Celebrate our Independence Day.
No, but 15 years ago, on my honeymoon, I celebrated Cinco de Mayo in Hawaii, which was...
Wukalaka hee. Come on, you want to lay me? Pass the poi, mahalo. Bongajuju. I watched Wayne's World yesterday. We're in Delaware.
Oh. Alice Cooper's in that movie.
Yes.
Alice Cooper. We're in Milwaukee.
They went to Milwaukee to see, and then they went to the Sharps Brewery and did the Laverne and Shirley thing.
That's right. Schlemiel.
Schmazel.
Pots are incorporated. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
We're gonna do it. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Give us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way. That should be the name of the name of the episode is Doing It Our Way.
Doing it our way. Oh, that's our mantra, man. That's
the Patrice O'Neal mantra. Doing it his way, doing it our way.
Doing it our way.
We're not trying to be entertaining at any point.
No.
So
no.
Will people listen often or enjoy it or at any point?
Yeah.
We're just doing this because we love
it our way.
We love hearing our own voices.
And not in the Sinatra way. He does it his way.
Regrets I've had probably. They did a This American Life on that song, or just about. I did not actually throw up. No, but they did a show that was sort of based on that song. Just he starts off and this is what what's his butt? Not Ira Glass. Is it Ira Glass?
Ira Glass is the normal host. It could have been Alex Bloomberg. It could have been
no. It was Ira.
Ira. Okay.
So he was saying that he doesn't like that song because he starts off saying, "Regrets I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention." It's he's about to actually talk about his regrets.
Yeah.
But then he's
psych.
He waffles on it.
He waffles. Nobody likes a waffler.
I like waffles.
You like waffles, but do you like wafflers?
People that make waffles? Yes.
People who waffle.
Yes, that people that make waffles?
No, people who waffle. Do you like people who whiffle?
Wapple?
Wapple? Judge Wapple.
No. Somebody constructed Wapple. Wapple metal.
Wapple metal?
Yes.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Did you know?
No. Maybe I did. I'll let you finish.
Did you know that Peyton Manning retired?
Didn't we already talk about
We
this?
did talk about this, but I have to bring this up just because I nobody's going to believe that this actually happened.
That
But
we actually talked about it? Yeah.
No. Nobody's going to believe that I actually had a moment of thinking, after all these years of talking shit about Peyton Manning, I had a moment of going, that was actually funny. Where are you?
I'm right here.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. This is as tweeted by Mike Reese or Mike Rice.
Mike?
Mike Reese from ESPN Boston. Is that where he is? Yeah.
I don't know where he is.
He used to work for the Boston Globe, but now he's somewhere else.
Now
which
he's
is why
not working for a newspaper because they're dying.
Yeah, well, you know. He quoted Peyton Manning as saying during his press conference, "I'll even miss the Patriot fans in Foxborough, and they sure should miss me because they sure did get a lot of wins off of me." And I was like, fuck you, you bastard. Yeah, we did. Thanks.
Yeah.
Except you fucking still won 2 Super Bowls. And
But the thing is, we won 4, so
he won
like
2.
it took this. Like
He won
you know,
2.
this is something that that all Mannings have done to equal the same for Brady. Well, I don't know. What was it? Richie?
I don't know if
Richie,
Archie.
Mochi, and Richie.
Richie Rich. Archie.
There's a lot this week that like anybody that has ever read One Piece, like if they're actually doing the
drinking
game,
out.
they're because I think it's if I slip one in
Right.
and you don't notice, I think they have to drink more.
I think that's right. I think that makes sense. We just sept your ass down. We didn't talk about this last time on the show that anybody heard.
Yes,
But I think it's very important.
Urinating again because you sit down to pee. Because you live in a house all of ladies except for your father.
I do, yeah. I sat down to pee in Target today because.
Why?
Well, here's why.
In the urinal?
Not. In the urinal, you don't go in the urinal unless you're really like.
Sit down in the urinal. That's what I meant.
Oh God, no, I did not.
You pissed on the floor in front of it.
Took a shit in the urinal.
Gross.
Oh God, people used to do that at scout camp.
People used to do that at Hannaford's. I'm glad I didn't work in maintenance.
I had to talk. I had to take my younger daughter into the bathroom at Target, and so she
went
in
Nashua, New Hampshire, to get local for you.
Yes. And she had to go, and then rather than walk out with her, have her stand by while I went to one of the urinals, I was like, turn around, and I sat down and I did my business right there, sitting down, and then we.
Did you toot a little bit while you're doing it?
I mean, sometimes I do, but not.
Like if I'm sitting down, like I'm intending on shitting, so therefore there's going to be at least a little bit of gas coming up before the doo doo.
No, I sit enough that because I live with all the ladies, I haven't. I don't always.
That's why your daughters aren't used to when I come over and use the bathroom, and leave the seat up because that's what I do.
That's what you do. What we talked about last week that we didn't really talk about last week was.
You don't want to talk about sitting down when you're pissing.
No.
Do you?
Well, we were talking about the fact that New Hampshire was considering.
Yes.
The state of New Hampshire was considering.
Speaking of Nashua, New Hampshire.
Yes. Banning breasts and nipples in public. And they are not going to do that because there's a headline out this week. New Hampshire won't ban women from showing breasts and nipples.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! And
this would have single-handedly destroyed the strip club industry in New Hampshire.
Well, that's not in public. This is about exposing breasts and nipples in public.
All right, so if
in a strip club, that's a different thing.
No, but you can't show under parts in New Hampshire, right?
I think that's right. Yeah,
because
the last time I went to one
was the one up the street
place, which is now
up the street from where you used to live.
Where I used to live, yeah. They had to wear something on their bottoms.
Yeah. Which I like, if you're getting like some sort of lap dance, which I'm sort of okay with.
Sort of okay with that, yeah. Yeah, it's all right.
Some rancid vagina being rubbed all over my pants.
Why you gotta assume that? Why you gotta assume that these ladies, they have a job?
Yeah, they're just paying their way through
work?
college. My mistake.
You don't think they take pride in their work?
Yes, they take a lot of pride.
All right, the New Hampshire House on Wednesday. I'm going to read a little bit from this article.
Oh, it was the House of Representatives. It
Yes.
wasn't like a general election.
No.
Kind of like, let's put this to the people.
No. The New Hampshire House on Wednesday rejected a bill that would have made it criminal, made it a crime for women to expose their breasts or nipples in public, a measure that caused an online dispute among several legislators that drew national attention. The House voted...
National attention. It got all the way down here to Massachusetts.
Yes, it did.
And we're talking about it.
Got all the way to whore. Topic.
Why do you sound like you're like someone's pulling on your genitals when you say it? Like pulling hard, not in a fun, good way.
The House voted against making it a misdemeanor for women to show their breasts with, quote, reckless disregard, quote, unquote, for whether it would offend someone. The bill was partly a response to the, quote, free the nipple movement.
Yes.
That led to 2 women being cited for going topless at a Guilford beach. A judge dismissed that case in February.
Wait, hold on. There's a beach in Guilford, New Hampshire?
Apparently.
Where's Guilford exactly?
I don't know. Hold on.
Let's figure it out.
Hey Siri, where's Guilford, New Hampshire?
Near the ocean, apparently.
Okay, here's Guilford.
It's by Winnipesaukee.
Oh, Winnipesaukee.
Yeah.
So girls can take out their tits at Winnipesaukee if they want to.
They can. Okay. But Bill's supporters had cautioned that allowing women to go topless at beaches could lead them to going topless at libraries and Little League games.
Good.
They said they were
You know what? I'd hit a home run if I saw some goddamn tits
shield.
when I was 6 or 7 years old at Pee Wee leagues.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to go to, what was the movie you were talking about?
Just one of the guys.
Just one of the guys.
I
You
would
wouldn't have to wait for
maybe
that.
I wouldn't have been so like incredibly like aroused by tits
If you would see.
as an adult if I had seen them like regularly as a child.
Okay, maybe.
But it'd probably be different because like women can see half naked men on the beach all the time. As far as like,
Yes, especially if they're from Canada.
oh god,
God.
fucking people from Montreal. Like, to go to Old Orchard Beach and just like, hey, we're really hairy and in a Speedo. Let's just walk around and play arcades.
Yeah. So they were, they said that they were trying to shield families and children. Opponents said such a ban violates the Constitution by creating different standards for men and women.
Right, which is what I was saying last week. And like, if we can get men's nipples out there, then we should also be able to have lady nipples out there.
Yes.
Freedom of expression for both genders, please. Thank you.
So,
ladies, if you're running around in New Hampshire, just fucking bring out the girls.
Yeah.
Just do it because it's your constitutional fucking right to fucking have your nips out.
Yes. I want to get your reaction on more of this, so I'm going to keep reading.
All right, good.
In its report recommending the bill's rejection, the House Criminal Justice and Public Safety, I imagine committee is supposed to be in there, but it's missing. Said it heard testimony from many who warned that due to likely acts of civil disobedience, the state would face expensive court fees if the bill became law. The New Hampshire chapter of American Civil Liberties Union testified that violation of such a law could be considered protected political speech, indicating the state would be unsuccessful in litigation. The report said many believed the listing of an offender in the state's sex offender registry after a second conviction to be an excessive punishment. So after two convictions, two nip slips, you could be considered a sex offender. That was what they were aiming to do.
We don't want attractive women with large breasts near schools.
No, not at all.
Because little kids will be popping their first boners. Mm-hmm. And we don't want that to happen ever.
We don't want kids popping boners at all.
Yeah. Apparently the internet is like, they don't have any pornography or any weird stuff that kids can access at any point.
Nothing on Redbox.
Redbox is the fucking one outside the grocery store. Red Tube.
It said the bill would also place police officers, quote, in the uncomfortable position of
grabbing breasts.
I don't know. They probably don't feel uncomfortable about doing that.
Nuzzling breasts?
In the uncomfortable position of having
You think like a cop would just go up to like the naked lady and just go, no, 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 no. Yeah.
hey, some of the cops out there.
Well, if a cop would actually do that, I wouldn't be completely upset. I imagine the woman would be, but
I would imagine, yeah.
But I would kind of have a little bit more respect for police officers if they just kind of put their faces in breasts.
And they motorboated.
Motorboated, yeah.
In the uncomfortable position.
Maybe if they maybe. All right, let's just talk like if the officer was like, "Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to have to put your shirt on, or if you would like, I could motorboat you." And if she agrees to that motorboat, maybe this is a better situation, more consensual,
Maybe.
less abuse of power.
No, I think it's still abuse of power.
No, well,
Because she's kind of like, what are her
her
choices?
options are to put her shirt on, or get a motorboat.
Get her motorboat. If she puts her shirt on, is all fine?
Yeah, I think it's all fine.
So she's not going to get charged with a crime.
No.
All right. So her options are then to put her shirt on, or
To allow a motorboat, if she wants it,
or if she doesn't, then she's going to be charged with a crime.
No.
So she can just keep walking around with her top off and say the hell with him and the hell with putting my shirt on.
Right.
So why would she allow the motorboat?
Because I want to see a cop motorboating a lady like on the side of the street.
Okay, all right. I just, in the uncomfortable position.
I'm just trying to get public boners.
Now that's probably a criminal offense.
What, having a boner in public?
Boner in public, I would imagine, somewhere in
Yeah, we
some
can't have our
state.
pricks out in public. What
Well,
the fuck
no,
is this?
I'm saying even just if somebody thought you had a boner from across the way.
That's fine.
They thought through your clothing they could see you have a boner. I bet you could be charged as a sex criminal.
Fuck that.
I bet.
New Hampshire?
Somewhere in this country.
Or just anywhere?
I live free or die.
Well, that's what I was fucking saying last week that
Yes.
no one ever heard. I'm like, let's ban the nipple. I'm like, what, in Live Free or Die, New Hampshire? Apparently you can't smoke weed and you can't fucking have your nips out.
No. In the uncomfortable position
You're never going to finish the sentence, are you?
of having to determine the gender of a potential offender. So they
What the fuck was the sentence before that?
it said the bill would also place police officers in the uncomfortable position of having to determine the gender of a potential offender.
Okay.
So because men's nipples would not be
So if someone was a little bit chunky and had fat baloney tits.
right. Yep.
So
Or if you had
to use the parlance of the Jerky Boys, a la 1990 something.
final paragraph. It added, in a state with an average temperature of only 46 degrees, the risk of rampant nudity seems rather low.
Well, I'm always for rampant nudity.
Rampant nudity. Who doesn't like rampant nudity?
It'll
Donald
be like
Trump
that.
supporters.
Drumpf.
Drumpf.
All right, what's the time?
What's the time? It's got to be close to midnight. My body's talking to me. It says
It's 2
time for danger.
minutes to midnight.
It's funny that I started quoting a musical and you started doing that.
Yeah.
Tells you everything you need to know about your two co-hosts. The time is 53 minutes and 25 seconds.
Oh, shit.
We're
close to the end here.
We are close to the end, and we did not talk about Donald Trump.
Drumpf.
Who apparently canceled a rally last night due to protesters.
Oh.
He canceled the rally.
Poor fella.
Poor fella.
He canceled the rally in the city that I'm about to go to.
Yes, he did. Hooray for that city.
So yes, so when I talk to people while I'm there playing pinball and drinking, hopefully people will agree with my politics and not be like,
not Rahm Emanuel. He did not endorse your boy Bern.
He did. Hillary?
I don't know, but Bernie's response. Let me see if I can dig that up. Let me see. Twitter.com.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is a picture of Spider-Man. Come on. That's Bette Midler.
You had so many things open.
I have so many things open. Twitter.com. What is he? Bernie Sanders or is he?
At Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. So Bernie's
BernardSanders.com.
Bernard. Who actually owns that? Because I'm
slash tilde.
So yeah, Rahm Emanuel did not do it. What did he? Bernie? Where are you?
He didn't endorse Trump, did he?
I don't know, but he said. Bernie Sanders said, "I want to thank Rahm Emanuel for not endorsing me. I don't want the endorsement of a mayor shutting down schools and firing teachers."
Oh shit!
Oh shit! He's throwing some shade. He's taking some lessons from Kim Kardashian or Bette Midler.
Who?
So Trump canceled the rally, and I saw
2 minutes to midnight.
I saw a tweet that I thought was really
to
interesting.
kill the unborn in the womb. What?
Dave Anthony. Are you familiar with Dave Anthony?
Who?
Why do I feel like
Who's Anthony? Who's Anthony?
Dave Anthony wrote about 4 hours ago, as we record this, the next Trump rally in an open carry state will be very telling. And I thought, yeah, that's a really good point. It also could be where we see a mass shooting.
I don't want to see a mass shooting.
I know. That's why I was when in my recollection, I thought he said very interesting. He says very telling. So I'm not mad at Dave Anthony, because interesting would be the wrong word. Telling is a right word, because if we see protests like that again in a state where there are Donald Trump supporters with guns, I'm a little afraid of what happens.
Yeah,
it's getting that bad. Also getting bad. I know
we said we were going to talk about it, but we did.
We did. I know. Well, I'm sorry, because I'm an asshole and I had to talk about it. What we didn't talk about, what we said we weren't going to talk about, is we still didn't talk about was what we've repeated, or what I've repeated a whole bunch of times. My fear about Donald Trump.
Yes, we're not going to do that this time.
I just want to mention, in passing, that I'm glad that I felt the burn, because I've traditionally, I don't know what it is that makes me like Hillary.
I think an elephant just died outside. There was a loud, terrible noise outside.
No. I hope it's not an elephant. Ringling Brothers nearby?
No, but the Elks Club is.
Ugh.
What the fuck was that noise?
I don't know, because they're the Elks. I don't know. They're fine fellas. Hillary. So I've always been. I voted for Hillary in 2008 in the primaries.
More like 2000 late.
And I was thinking of voting for her, and I've always kind of liked Hillary. I don't know why. I just did. But she has done and said, well, at least one thing. The second thing I'm not sure about. The other day, I don't know if she was speaking at Nancy Reagan's funeral or just about the death of Nancy Reagan, but she intimated...
Well, Mommy is finally with me.
See, this is what you missed last week.
She brought me jelly beans, and I'm happy about it. But unfortunately, I'm not getting any of this side poon now that she's here.
Yeah, I know. Poor Ronnie. I'm sorry about that, pal.
It's not actually him. It's just me saying things as him.
So Hillary intimated in talking about the death of Nancy Reagan that the Reagans did great work for AIDS awareness, which is actually in the 1980s, which is actually the exact opposite of what they did. They did not talk about it. There's actually documentation out there of them making a point of not talking about it while millions of people are dying of that disease. And Hillary backtracked later. She tried to make it sound like she was speaking about some other thing that they did do great work for in terms of medicine. But so she did that, and I was like, all right, Hillary, please, you might very well be the nominee. Please stop saying stupid things. And then I got the impression, although I don't have any source for this, that she...
But you didn't say that about Donald Trump.
You're the one that said his name.
Trump.
I got the impression that she, in commenting on the protests at Trump's rally last night, that she made the impression that we should be having this conversation peaceably, and she invoked one of the church shooting or something I don't know. I just don't know who is not vetting what she says publicly. But man, back earlier in the campaign when her buddies were all like, if you're a woman and you're not voting for Hillary Clinton, then you're a dumb idiot. Right.
I'm like, seriously? Isn't that the exact opposite of what you're supposed to be doing as a feminist? Just saying, you are your own person and you have your own thoughts and fucking opinions.
Right.
You can fucking make decisions on your own
Yes.
and not have to fucking be beholden to the fact that a woman is running
Right.
and vote for that person just because of that reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it really like it doesn't break my heart. That's the wrong expression.
Why you wanna break my heart? Fucking Wayne's World. It fucking infected me from fucking yesterday.
Anyway, I hope she stops saying stupid things because there's a good chance she might be the nominee. But to turn things around, what fucking state was it? I saw the other day that they're gonna let 17-year-olds who will be 18 by the time of the general election vote in one
primaries?
in one state's primary, and it was a state where Bernie stood a chance. I think was the impression that I got, and of course he's very popular.
And
with
we all know that children are socialists.
Yes.
I think like a lot of people are just knocking on Bernie because he's a self-declared
Because he's a democratic socialist.
Yes, I mean he's running as a Democrat because he didn't want to be the Ralph Nader or the what the fuck was the one that ruined Bush?
Fucking
Ross Perot. Yeah, he didn't want to be that guy. He didn't want to be the third party candidate that ruined the chances for someone who was more like-minded to himself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why he ran as a Democrat, which I appreciate that. And that's pretty great on him, even if he doesn't win the nomination, although I'm pushing for him.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Hillary than fucking Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the socialism or the communism that has happened in the past has been more fascism than anything else.
Yeah.
And it's just something that we fought against, and we have this American mentality that capitalism is the most wonderful thing in the world.
Right.
When it in fact is,
except when the fucking markets crash.
Except for when,
and then you need people like FDR to institute democratic socialism to try and get the country back on track.
Yes, and we have that, and the thing is the thing that makes capitalism great is competition.
Yes.
And when that competition doesn't exist, if we have giant corporations that have no competition and don't have anybody else in the market to make it so they have to be better or their competition has to be better, then it fucking doesn't work. I'm sorry if Coca-Cola and Pepsi are the two soda companies, which apparently this is a refreshing beverage that if you put your tooth into, it would dissolve in the matter of a day. I'm sorry, this isn't something that's great. This isn't something that's good for you or great or anything. It may taste good and have lots of sugar and corn syrup and whatever the fuck else they have in it to make it taste like awesomeness, but that doesn't make it great. It doesn't make it America. For fuck's sake, this is me on my... This is me on my soapbox that makes no fucking sense. I'm standing on soap itself, not on the box, and I'm slipping and breaking my head on the ground.
I'm standing on soap and not on the box itself. That's pretty good. I think it's as good a place as any is to wrap up this episode. You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/85.
Wow, we're getting up there.
85, the same year that Nancy Reagan and Ronnie didn't say jack shit about AIDS.
But it's also the same year that Halley's Comet came by.
Halley's Comet.
I wanted to throw this fucking bottle cap at you.
clarkwoods.com/hot/85 is where the show notes are. If you want to contribute to the show in terms of sending us an email, hot@clarkwoods.com is the place to go.
Maybe next week we'll talk about kumquats.
Maybe next week. Oh, yes, that's right. Well, so we got an email asking us.
Yeah, but let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, maybe next week with the kumquats. If you want to attack us on Twitter
or just send us nice messages or send us a personal message saying how you guys are awesome and I wish you'd like be at my birthday party. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. It's my party,
would
and I'll cry if I want to.
Because I'm listening to these guys for an hour.
If you wanna tell us, you wanna tweet us and tell us how moist kumquats are.
I usually am okay with it, but it didn't work for me when you said it.
I did not make you moist by saying moist. This is a big surprise.
I'm gonna make some moisture in a second when we get
When
out,
you
we
say-
start recording.
Donkey dishwasher.
I think it's worse when you say it.
Might be.
All right, so you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Tuesday is Loser. That's at Tuesday is Loser, all one word, and he is
At ECC 1977.
So yeah, follow us. And occasionally, I'll tweet something besides the show.
Yes, occasionally.
Yes,
Maybe.
very rarely.
Very rarely.
But with the incorporation of pictures now, I think we're getting more visibility.
You are, yes. I like to throw in the Twixtures?
Twixtures.
The Twixtures. The pictures?
All right, I'm gonna bash you over the head with this
You're
bottle.
going to bash me over the head with the bottle. Oh, no. Please don't.
I can't actually do it and
can't do
make
it.
the sound.
No,
you can put a sound effect of me like broken glass.
Yeah.
like right now.